Have you ever wondered if passion still matters after 60? What if I told you that letting go of physical intimacy could silently rob you of your health, happiness, and even years of your life? You might think that something as private and intimate as sex would fade away with age, just a distant memory, like high school dances or summer romances. But what if that's not entirely true? As a doctor who has worked closely with older adults for decades, I can assure you, sex is not a luxury in later life, it's a lifeline. At first, you may not notice it. Maybe you feel a little more sluggish in the morning. Your joints are stiff. Your heart beats faster after a short flight of stairs. Your memory gets a bit fuzzy. Then, emotional shifts begin to creep in. You start feeling more alone, less connected, maybe even a little invisible. This isn't just aging. These could be the subtle effects of living without physical intimacy. Before we go deeper, if you haven't subscribed yet, hit that button and turn on the bell so you don't miss out on more health tips made just for you. If you enjoy this video, type 1 in the comments. If not, type 0 so I know how to make better content for you. Let's talk about your heart. It may surprise you, but your heart, your actual physical heart, not just your emotions, relies on more than diet and medication to stay strong as you age. Regular sexual activity, even in your 60s, 70s, or beyond, functions like light cardio exercise. It improves circulation, lowers blood pressure, and helps maintain arterial flexibility. In fact, studies show that older adults who stay sexually active tend to have fewer heart-related issues. It's not about intensity or frequency, it's about consistency and connection. When intimacy fades, the body loses one of its natural ways to stay strong. Without it, the heart becomes more vulnerable to stress, inflammation, and chronic disease. Imagine skipping your daily walk or forgetting your medication. Ignoring sexual health can have equally serious consequences. Many seniors don't realize that the heart benefits from closeness, touch, and physical affection, just like it does from exercise or rest. The message is clear: nurturing intimacy means nurturing your heart. But your heart isn't the only part of your body that benefits. What if I told you that giving up sex could also speed up physical decline in ways you might never expect? Your muscles and joints begin to lose vitality. Most of us think of strength training or walking routines when we talk about staying physically fit in old age. But one of the most overlooked ways to maintain muscle tone and joint flexibility is through regular sexual activity. Intimacy naturally engages various muscle groups, promotes movement, and even helps improve balance and coordination. For older adults, this kind of physical engagement can be both enjoyable and incredibly beneficial. Without it, muscles weaken faster, joints become stiffer, and overall mobility begins to drop. These are quiet changes. You may not notice them right away, but over time, your body responds to the lack of stimulation with decreased strength and a higher risk of injury. Beyond that, the confidence that comes from feeling physically capable often stems from regular movement, including what happens in the bedroom. Losing that connection can lead to a more sedentary lifestyle, creating a difficult cycle to break. And if this already sounds surprising, wait until you learn how sex, or the lack of it, can directly affect your mental sharpness and memory. This next insight may change how you think about brain health forever. Your brain is affected, too. Most people don't connect sex with brain health, but the link is strong, especially as you age. During sexual activity, the brain releases chemicals like dopamine, oxytocin, and endorphins. These aren't just feel-good hormones, they play a vital role in improving mood, reducing stress, and strengthening memory and cognitive function. For older adults, staying mentally sharp becomes increasingly important, and regular intimacy can naturally support brain function. On the flip side, when sex disappears from your life, your brain loses these crucial neurological benefits. Over time, this can lead to increased anxiety, depression, and even early cognitive decline. Emotional intimacy and physical connection help keep neural pathways active and engaged, keeping your brain responsive and resilient. Like muscles, your brain needs stimulation to stay strong. And intimacy is one of the most natural and enjoyable forms of mental exercise. Neglecting this part of life doesn't just affect your body, it quietly steals the spark that makes you feel truly alive. But beyond memory and mood, there's something even deeper at risk: your ability to feel emotionally connected and truly seen by your partner. And as you're about to discover, that can have profound consequences. Emotional intimacy begins to fade. As we age, emotional connection becomes even more essential. Without physical intimacy, those bonds can slowly weaken. Sex isn't just a physical act, it's a deep expression of affection, trust, and vulnerability. When that connection fades, couples often begin to feel more like roommates than romantic partners. Conversations become routine. Affection diminishes. And the spark that once made you feel desired, seen, and deeply loved begins to fade. For many older adults, the absence of intimacy leads to feelings of loneliness, even within committed relationships. And loneliness is more than an emotion. It's linked to real health issues like depression, elevated blood pressure, and a weakened immune system. Emotional intimacy grows from small gestures, touch, eye contact, closeness. And sex is one of the most powerful ways to maintain that feeling of closeness. Letting go of intimacy means letting go of one of the strongest emotional anchors in your relationship. Yet many people don't realize what they've lost until the distance has already set in. But what if rebuilding intimacy could not only reconnect you emotionally, but also help you sleep better and more peacefully? The next truth might surprise you, and change your nighttime routine forever. Sleep becomes harder. As we age, quality sleep becomes harder to come by. But few realize just how closely sleep and sexual activity are connected. After sexual release, the body naturally produces prolactin, a hormone that promotes relaxation and makes it easier to fall asleep. At the same time, oxytocin, the cuddle hormone, is released, reducing stress and anxiety, two of the biggest causes of restless nights. For many older adults, sleep issues are treated with medication. But the solution may be far more natural, and much more pleasant. When intimacy disappears, these calming chemical reactions disappear, too, leaving the body tense and the mind too active. If you've been tossing and turning, struggling to fall asleep, or waking up feeling exhausted, the missing ingredient might be physical connection and closeness. And this isn't just about better sleep. Restorative sleep supports memory, mood, energy, and overall health. In other words, a lack of sexual activity can disrupt far more than your bedtime routine. But the real issue goes deeper. When physical intimacy fades, so does something far more personal: your self-confidence, self-image, and the belief that you are still vibrant and desirable. What happens next might affect how you see yourself entirely. Self-esteem and confidence decline. Aging can affect how we view ourselves. But nothing impacts confidence more quietly than the loss of physical intimacy. When you're no longer touched, desired, or involved in a sexual connection, it's easy to start feeling invisible. Over time, many seniors begin to believe that their best years are behind them, that being attractive, wanted, or sexually alive is a thing of the past. But that belief is a lie. Physical intimacy sends powerful emotional signals that affirm your worth, your vitality, and your ability to give and receive love. Without it, self-doubt creeps in. You might avoid mirrors, pull away from your partner, or stop showing affection, not because you don't care, but because you no longer feel desirable. Intimacy, no matter how gentle or infrequent, reminds you that you are still here, still beautiful, and still capable of deep connection. Reclaiming this part of yourself often restores confidence in ways that ripple into every area of your life, your posture, your smile, your outlook. But while low self-esteem affects how you feel, the loss of intimacy goes even further. It can quietly weaken your body's natural defenses. What happens next might surprise you. When intimacy fades, so does your vitality. Regular sexual activity has been linked to higher levels of immunoglobulin A, IgA, a vital antibody that protects the body from colds, infections, and other illnesses. It also helps balance hormones, reduce inflammation, and support overall cellular health. Without the hormonal and neurological responses triggered by intimacy, the immune system can become sluggish, making it harder for the body to fight off common viruses and recover quickly. This decline doesn't happen overnight. It creeps in slowly, often without you noticing. One day you might find yourself getting colds more often or feeling inexplicably tired. Reclaiming a healthy sex life doesn't just lift your mood, it strengthens your body's natural defenses. It's one of nature's most enjoyable forms of preventive medicine. But if you think the effects of lost intimacy end with the immune system, think again. There's more, deeper, silent consequences tied to how your body and mind handle stress. Stress and anxiety build up quietly. As we age, the sources of stress may shift, but their impact becomes heavier on the mind and body. What many people don't realize is that sexual intimacy is one of the most powerful natural stress relievers available. During sex, your body releases a powerful cocktail of hormones, dopamine, oxytocin, and serotonin, that actively reduce anxiety, calm the nervous system, and create a lasting sense of emotional balance. These hormones are your body's built-in mood stabilizers. They relieve tension and promote a sense of connection and safety. But when intimacy fades, so do these natural coping mechanisms. Over time, stress builds up, sleep is disrupted, and small worries start to feel overwhelming. Without that physical outlet, anxiety can show up as restlessness, irritability, or even physical symptoms like headaches and muscle tension. The absence of intimacy doesn't just create emotional distance in your relationship, it removes one of your body's most powerful tools for emotional and mental resilience. Your mind and memory begin to suffer. But the impact may go even further. What if the fading of sexual connection is also quietly affecting your brain, your sharpness, memory, and focus? As physical closeness fades, emotional distance often follows. Couples who once shared warmth and affection may drift apart, not because the love is gone, but because they've stopped expressing it in the most fundamental way. Sexual intimacy is more than just a physical act, it's a language of trust, vulnerability, and emotional bonding. Without it, even the strongest partnerships can start to feel dull or disconnected. The laughter, joy, and spontaneity that once brought life to the relationship may be replaced by silence or routine. Communication can falter. Partners may begin to feel neglected or unwanted, even when love is still present. Intimacy is the glue that helps keep relationships emotionally alive and fulfilling, no matter how many decades have passed. Letting go of that connection doesn't just affect your body, it reshapes the entire dynamic of your relationship. Your body begins to forget how to be intimate. But here's an even more personal truth. What happens when your own body starts to forget how to function sexually? What happens next is often the hardest part. The body adapts, or forgets. Use it or lose it. Just as muscles weaken when we stop exercising, sexual function begins to fade when it's no longer engaged. For men, this may appear as slower arousal or erectile challenges. For women, it can lead to increased vaginal dryness, discomfort, or loss of natural elasticity. These changes are subtle. They happen slowly. Until one day, physical intimacy feels harder than it is desirable. And so begins a cycle. Discomfort leads to avoidance, and avoidance leads to further decline. But here's the truth: your body is trying to tell you something. Remaining sexually active helps maintain function. It keeps blood flow healthy, tissues nourished, and the nervous system responsive. Even gentle forms of intimacy can remind your body of what it's capable of. Ignoring this need might seem harmless at first. But over time, it makes regaining comfort and confidence far more difficult. Your mindset shapes your experience. Even as your body adapts, your mindset is just as powerful. What if the most important sexual organ isn't what you think? The next truth might change everything. No matter your age or how long it's been, reclaiming intimacy is entirely possible, and it can start today. The first and most important step: communication. Talk openly with your partner about how you feel, what you miss, and what you want to rebuild together. Honesty and vulnerability are the foundation for meaningful reconnection. Facing physical challenges? Don't hesitate to talk to your doctor. There are effective, simple solutions for common issues like dryness, low libido, or erectile dysfunction. Start small. Physical touch, hugs, holding hands, and gentle affection matter. These small moments often lead to deeper connection and renewed intimacy. If you're single, don't underestimate the power of self-connection. Exploring your own comfort and needs can help your body and mind stay aligned. Stay open. Stay curious. Approach intimacy with patience, and most of all, give yourself permission to enjoy. You haven't run out of passion. You're just waiting for the right moment to rediscover it. And that moment is now. Reconnection doesn't require perfection, only the willingness to begin again. One touch. One conversation. One shared moment at a time. The truth about aging and intimacy. Aging doesn't mean the end of intimacy. It means the beginning of deeper, more meaningful connection with yourself and your partner. Losing physical closeness isn't just about what happens in the bedroom. It affects your heart, your mind, your health, and your entire sense of aliveness. But here's the truth. It's never too late to reclaim this part of your life. You are still worthy of love, desire, pleasure, and connection, no matter your age. Let go of outdated beliefs that intimacy belongs only to the young. You still have time, energy, and heart to give and receive in powerful, life-enhancing ways. The path forward isn't about chasing youth. It's about embracing who you are today, and choosing not to let fear or assumptions limit how fully you live. Reconnect. Reignite. Rediscover. Because the most satisfying years of your life aren't behind you. They're waiting to be created, with intention and courage. If you feel something is missing, this is your moment to reach for more. Not just more years, but more joy, more closeness, more life. You deserve nothing less. If this message touched you, take a moment to reflect. Comment with the number 1 if you learned something valuable, or 0 if you didn't. Your feedback means the world to us. Don't forget to like, subscribe to our channel for more heartfelt and science-backed content. And share this video with someone who might need this gentle reminder today. Thank you for watching. And here's to living fully, courageously, and on your own terms.